What's good? Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. We're here to talk about China and waifus. I'll just tell you the the headline of the article we're going to go over in a minute. It literally says China censors waifus' breasts again. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And yes, you'll see plenty of examples in just a minute. Before we get to that, I'll briefly share my opinion on these redesigns. So in my humble opinion, I actually think the redesigns are pretty good. That doesn't mean I'm advocating for the censorship. I think it's a lame move. It's hilarious and lame what they did, especially when you see the examples. But that said, I'm not going to sit here lying to you guys. I like the redesigns, and that's just because my taste in women and attire is like this. This is a perfect example I've said before in the past too. The widow from the show Into the Badlands. Look at her attire, man. Look at her. She is classy, sophisticated, elegant. She's also looking like she's dangerous, like don't mess with her. And I'm serious too. She killed her husband because the husband was abusing her. It's a great story. I mean, it's messed up, but it's great that she stood up to the abusive husband and is this classy woman who became a baron, and it's pretty freaking awesome. But anyways, point is, there's some examples of attire that I find to be like top tier on a lady. So you now know my taste. Knowing that, let's move on and talk about the news. From somoskudasai.com. Once more, China censors waifu's breasts again, they say, writing, fans of the smartphone video game Blue Archive have once again been engulfed in a sea of criticism and disappointment upon discovering that the Chinese version of the game has censored much of the franchise's waifu's designs. The game, which combines elements of strategy and RPG with a waifu's aesthetic, a kind of anime or manga girls, is very popular in several countries, including Japan and the West. The female characters are designed with details that highlight their curves, physical attributes, and facial features. However, China, a country that has very strict regulations on violence, sexuality, and sensitive content, has imposed severe censorship on the Blue Archive girls. Footage from the Chinese version of the game shows waifus with hidden cleavages, reduced thighs, and smaller breasts. Fans of the franchise have made it clear that this is not acceptable, and have complained on social media about the lack of respect towards the creativity and artistic freedom of the developers. On the left are the designs in China, while on the right is the original design. All right, moving on to the first example of Amy, I guess her name is, I think. Izumimoto. There we go, Izumimoto Amy. So you can see on the right is the original design as mentioned, and on the left they deflated her and covered her up some more too. Like I said, I personally actually like the redesign, but the censorship is lame. The disrespect is lame. It's like, if you want their game, just have the game as is, in my opinion. Continuing, though. Ichinose Azuna reduced the size of her breasts and hid her cleavage. So kind of similar to the one above you can see there. Also deflated. Oh, another one right here. We got Sonohara Shun. Seems like she might have had a slightly less reduction than the others. Not too sure. Maybe one of you very cultured people can break out some science and fill us in if it's a equal treatment or not. Continuing on, we got Masiro Shizuyama. You can see some more clothing on her thighs there. Once again, I actually like that look. One of the first characters I saw that I actually liked that look on was Cinder in Ruby. Like even from Volume 1, she'd have that dress, but she'd have like the layer underneath, whatever you want to call it. I just think it's kind of a cool look. Continuing, we got Subaga Kasuga. All right, so another reduction, and actually another look that I'm a fan of, the bandage stuff. That aesthetic, I think, is pretty cool. Another example of that, once again, with Cinder, funny enough, from Ruby. She had this like temporary outfit that I thought looked cool with the bandages underneath. Another example, like Kasa, of course. Another great example being Karakure from Kengan Ashura. There you go. Moving right on, we got Tsurugi Kenzaki. They removed blood from her halo. Why do you think they would do that? I really don't know. Is it because they find the blood to be offensive or something? I don't know. But I can tell you the CCP's got plenty of blood on their hands, so maybe they should be more concerned with that. Pina Asahina getting another hidden modifier debuff, and a few more. Actually, how many more examples are there? Hold up. I think there's actually a lot more. I don't know how many we'll go through. A few more for now, though. Katori Toyomi. Reduction there. Actually, reduction in hidden, I think. What do we got here? Juri Ushimaki. I'm not familiar with these characters at all, but some of them seem pretty cool. Another reduction. I think it's the same outfit though, right? They really couldn't leave that? Wait, what? I'm trying to see if my eyes are fooling me on this one. Is that actually reduced? This might be the same, right? I don't know about this one. This one, I think this one might be the same. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, if it is reduced, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm just trying to get the facts. All right, now we got Karen or Karin Kakudate. Kakudate Karin. Okay, what do we got here? Reduction. Once again, I'm not sure about this one. Is it a reduction? Actually, this one kind of looks like it was slightly reduced. It's hard to tell though, man. I don't know. Those last two, I'm kind of not sure. How do you say this one? Sumire. Is it Sumire? Otohana lifted her leggings to show less abdomen. Yeah, I can see it actually, I think. Or you know what? Actually, I was going to say maybe they just shaded it differently. There's definitely a difference there. I think that one is raised up a bit. Okay. That's actually the last example. Let's see what else they add here. This is not the first time we've talked about this type of censorship in China. Many video game and animation franchises have suffered from the same problem, including Kantai Collection and Azure Lane. Despite consumer complaints, companies often abide by regulations and censor designs to suit the Chinese market, which represents a huge revenue opportunity for companies. Thankfully, the censor designs are reportedly limited to the Chinese version of the game only and don't affect the rest of the world. However, fans worry that the developer company at some point won't be able to maintain a server dedicated to a single country and will have to distribute its game globally, meaning censorship would move to the global server. That's messed up. See, that's when they got to pick a choice. It's like, do we do the right thing by our global player base, or do we do what China wants us to do and enforce that against the whole player base? Obviously, I think that would be the wrong move. And now I'm trying to remember a situation that I don't have a lot of memory on at all. I don't think I covered it. I think I just read some article about it months back. Maybe someone knows what I'm talking about. There was a company that was not a Chinese company. I forget if it was based in the US or what, but it was not based in China. However, their product was also in China, and China had regulations on their product that forced them to censor it or something of the sort. And they ended up censoring the entire product, including the users who are not in China, over China's regulations, therefore making it seem like, not even making it seem like, excuse me, but therefore causing China's regulations and censorship, their laws, in other words, to be enforced on citizens who are not even Chinese citizens. It was a pretty crazy situation, but I don't remember any of the details. I don't remember the company or like if it was even gaming related. I'm forgetting all that stuff. So if you know what I'm talking about, feel free to fill me in and us in the comments. Once again, appreciate you. Because, yeah, that's crazy stuff, you know. When you're a citizen of a different country and some other country's regulations are imposed on you because some company wants those China bucks that bad, it's like, man, really? And just to be clear, someone may be thinking I'm talking about Genshin Impact. I'm not. I'm not talking about Genshin. Like in Genshin, we have seen situations where censorship due to China's regulations were rolled out to the global audience. But the difference there is, you know, that's a Chinese-based company. Now, of course, you got Cognosphere being based out of Singapore, if I recall. So, you know, they try to distance themselves as much as they can. But ultimately, Hoyoverse is still a Chinese-based company largely. So that's not what I'm talking about. The example, once again, that I'm talking about was a company not even based in China at all, which is what made it so crazy. But yeah, guess I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, as well as, of course, the larger topic at hand for this video, which is the Blue Archive stuff, those changes, the censorship, what you think of it all. I'll see you in the comments, and thanks again for tuning in. Catch you there.